What if Napoleon's victories were guided by an invisible hand? The year is 1793. Napoleon is just a young artillery officer. But a single event changes everything. A chance encounter with a mysterious stranger. This stranger offers him a map, not of terrain, but of human psychology, a blueprint for manipulating destiny itself. Napoleon hesitates, but the stranger's words echo. Victory belongs to those who see the pattern. He takes the map. Historians call Napoleon's rise a miracle. They ignore the hidden mechanism. A psychological algorithm that predicts enemy moves before they think them. The algorithm exploits cognitive biases. Napoleon learns to trigger fear, overconfidence, and hesitation in his opponents. He becomes unbeatable. But the stranger's identity remains a mystery. Some say he was a philosopher, others, a time traveler. The truth is far stranger. In 1796, Napoleon invades Italy. His victories are so swift, so precise, that his own generals suspect sorcery. But it's just the algorithm. The stranger reappears. He gives Napoleon a second gift. A list of future events. The list includes his own coronation as emperor. Napoleon is terrified. He burns the list, but the words are burned into his mind. He now knows his fate is not his own. The divergence deepens. Napoleon's decisions become more erratic, yet more successful. He is a puppet dancing to an unknown tune. Historians struggle to explain his sudden genius. They invent theories. Luck, madness, a secret society, all wrong. The architect remains hidden. By 1804, Napoleon crowns himself emperor. But the stranger's final words haunt him. You are not the architect. You are the tool. The first chapter ends with a question. Who is the architect? The answer lies hidden in the chaos of the next chapter. The year is 1793. Napoleon returns to Corsica. But something is wrong. His family barely recognizes him. He speaks of a vision, a map in his mind that does not match reality. His mother fears he has lost his sanity. Historians call his rise a miracle. They point to the siege of Toulon as his first stroke of genius. But the conventional narrative misses the chaos beneath. His decisions were erratic, driven by a hidden panic. He gambled on strategies that defied logic. Each victory seemed to come from a desperate, almost suicidal impulse. We upload videos like this every day. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Television. His contemporaries noticed the change. They whispered that he was possessed, or cursed by some ancient force. Desperate to restore order, the Directory sent agents to spy on him. They reported back with impossible tales. One agent claimed Napoleon slept only 2 hours a night, muttering coordinates of cities he had never visited. The attempt to reverse the chaos came from an unlikely source. A mathematician named Pierre-Simon Laplace. Laplace believed he could calculate the future. He offered Napoleon a deterministic model to predict outcomes. But the model failed. Every prediction crumbled against Napoleon's erratic choices. Laplace retreated in shame. The failure of rational analysis only deepened the mystery. The chaos was not random. It was structured. Napoleon's personal life mirrored the turmoil. He married Josephine in a whirlwind, then abandoned her for months. His letters to her oscillated between obsessive love and cold detachment. She described him as two different men. The immediate chaos was a symptom of a deeper fracture. History itself had been knocked off its axis. One small change in 1793 set off a chain reaction that would echo across Europe for decades. Napoleon's decision to delay the Italian campaign by just 3 weeks altered the balance of power permanently. Austria, sensing weakness, mobilized faster than expected, forcing a brutal winter war in the Alps. This delay also meant Napoleon missed his chance to secure a key alliance with the Ottoman Empire. Without that alliance, his Egyptian campaign faltered, leading to a hasty retreat and a loss of prestige. Back in France, the weakened Napoleon faced a coup attempt that nearly ended his political career. He survived. But the instability forced him to rely on secret police and propaganda more than ever. This paranoia reshaped the French government into a surveillance state decades ahead of its time. Meanwhile, the Industrial Revolution took a different path. Without Napoleon's continental system, British factories boomed. But the war in the Alps had drained French resources, slowing their own industrial growth by a decade. This economic gap allowed Prussia to rise as the dominant industrial power, not France. By 1850, Europe looked nothing like our history. The butterfly effect had rewritten the entire script. The architect was never a single man. It was a pattern, a feedback loop woven into the fabric of history itself. Napoleon did not create the French Empire. The empire created him, channeling its energy through a vessel. Every decision he made was a response to pressures invisible to his contemporaries. He was a node in a network. The true architect was the collective unconscious of Europe, a storm of ambition, fear, and hope. Power does not reside in thrones or armies. It flows through systems, amplified by every human mind that participates. Napoleon was merely the tip of a spear forged by centuries of suppressed desires and shifting alliances. The chaos that followed his fall was not a return to order. It was the system recalibrating, seeking a new channel. Congress of Vienna redrew borders. But the underlying pattern remained. The architect simply changed its mask. Industrial Revolution, nationalism, world wars? All were echoes of the same feedback loop, amplified by technology. We see history as a chain of events, but it is a wave, and we are only aware of the crest. The architect is not a person. It is the invisible hand of collective human will, shaping its own cage. Napoleon understood this instinctively. He rode the wave, but he never controlled its direction. The final truth: reality is not fixed. It is a probability tree, and we are the ones who choose which branch to climb. Hi everyone! Quick reminder: subscribe for high-quality daily content. Sparkle's Last Chance. Subscribe now before we launch our new series, Unlocked.